Board. Gay, 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 gay. Gay, 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 games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. Today, I guess I'm gonna be talking about taking time off after I'm singing. And I guess taking off a day is something that we sometimes need to do, and that's okay. We need to decide what's essential. Prioritization is wonderful. Taking time off, it's what I'm talking about. Taking time off, I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez, and it is 10 a.m. UK time. Hello, Alex. It is lovely to have you here. Today, I don't have much of a topic. I'm at home, as you might be able to tell, but I'm just a bit clogged up. I'm just a bit phlegmy. And so, yeah, I'm once again going to try and relax most of the day, but I guess I wanted to talk about taking days off and what that means. I mean, I didn't have much else to talk about, so if you've got any questions, then please go ahead. Otherwise, it's another episode 552 of Busy Beats and Board Game Blether, even though this one's going to be a lot shorter than yesterday. So, it is indeed lovely to have you here. And hello, Jess. It's we are both having rests. That is fine, very appropriate for the topic. So let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. Um, recent highlights. I did play a couple of electronic games. I did replay the Cat Burglar game that was fun. It was silly fun. I recommend it to anyone who likes old style cartoons. And so, yeah, check it out with a wee bit of a quiz. I managed to get out yesterday, did the posting, sent a couple of parcels that I have to post. One of the parcels is to someone who's going to hopefully help me at Aircon, Josie Finch, and one of the parcels to someone who's hopefully going to get out reviews before my next Kickstarter on the 15th of March. I should probably send a link to that to you all. If you're not already following my Kickstarter, then please do follow that. Whoops. Yeah, didn't mean to put all the Facebook stuff there. Yeah, and so that is Simon of Amass Games and AMASS, and they're doing a quick overview, which is their typical style. The rest of the day didn't get too much done. I was a bit on social media. I sent some emails. I had a quick interview with someone who was potentially going to help us out but decided not to. And yeah, that was pretty much my day. The rest of it, I just slept. I would normally be going out to dancing on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but just did not feel up to it. So that wasn't. So I guess that was the recent event. Let's see what everyone else is up to. Just didn't sleep too well. Cycled 47 kilometers with no stopping at all, and then speed walked 7 kilometers. That is quite a bit. And that sounds like an impressive highlight. As Alex says, that is indeed a very long way. Alex says, some studies have shown that moving to a 4-day week actually improves overall productivity. And yeah, here's me kind of honestly struggling to take off one complete day. I mean, not counting this, but it just feels like each day there's things that need to be done, and I'm not great at pushing them all to one day so I get a day off. But that's something that I could work on. I just tend to do a couple, even on a day off, I tend to sort of do this stream and then maybe do an hour or two of work, kinds of emails or checking things that I feel need to be checked out, or I mean, sharing posts about Kickstarter preview pages going live is something that I kind of feel I need to do it now, and but yeah, just taking some time off, and but yeah, it's going when you're going somewhere for work, that feels completely different to when you're working for yourself and it's like, oh, I need to do this because if I don't do it, then no one's going to do it. Anyway, yeah, so Jess wants to proclaim to the world that she's got thighs of steel. Congratulations. Morning, Rob Harper. I hope that you're generally well. We're having a non-show today. We'll see what happens. Maybe I should have opened an electronic game or something. That might have been mildly interesting. That would have been a nice chill stream. No conversation, just, trying an electronic game. I could still change the name. I could still do that. We'll see. Tomorrow, if I'm not able to make it to playtest, then I guess that's what I'll do. But hopefully I'll be able to make it to playtest, because the other thing I want to say is, like, when you're taking a day off, like, if it's something that you're really in love with, if it's something that you're passionate about, and I'm not just talking about taking days off from work, I'm talking taking days off from activity. Because, like, yesterday, I really wanted to go dancing, and maybe just staying in bed, having an early night, watching cartoons and sitcoms, and then sleeping was the right thing. But and yeah, today probably I'm not going to go much further than going to a very close supermarket. I don't. I feel a wee bit dizzy. Don't feel up to doing the 20-minute cycle to the bigger, cheaper supermarkets. I'm probably going to have the 7-minute walk to the closer, marginally more expensive supermarket and buy some orange juice. But yeah, Rob says being self-employed makes taking time off harder. I do agree 100%. But I guess what I'm saying is that when you're taking time off even from pleasure, because taking time off from dancing, I didn't get to Mambo or Cha-Cha-Cha yesterday. And it's kind of feels like, sure, I might recuperate. Maybe this is good for my health, but you feel a little bit sad about that. Do you get what I mean? Anyway. Alex says, I took the kids to a library and then we went to a cafe for lunch. That does sound lovely. Alex says, I guess it might be more applicable in your regular 9 to 5. I think lots of freelancers and creatives prefer instead to work a few hours each day. Yeah, and for sure, when I was on holiday with a bunch of people and we all went to a big mansion, and I was still doing wee bits of drawing where I think I was drawing about 2 hours each day, getting up super early before other people were really awake, drawing maybe 2, maybe 3 hours, and then once I'd done that, kind of say, okay, that's it. I'm now going to spend the rest of the day with my friends, hanging out, eating, wandering around, playing tennis, and that was so much fun. And that was, for me, still time off. It felt like absolutely time off. I spent bits of time drawing in the morning, bits of time hanging out with friends and being present with them, and potentially at some point I might spend like 1 hour of focus time catching up with social media. And that's the thing about social media again, like if you leave it for an entire week, then it doesn't feel like you can come back to it. Rob is getting ready to drive up to Bastion. That sounds lovely. I wish I were joining you. I just don't feel up to it because, yeah, I do feel a wee bit sick. I feel a wee bit headachy. I feel a wee bit phlegmy. Otherwise, I would be there. And yeah, if you can, no, I shouldn't ask. I was going to say if you can grab nitwits for me because someone's selling it for £4. And I would love to try nitwits sometime. But I hope you have a wonderful time, share lots of pictures, and have a just a lovely weekend. And I wish I were there. Do, 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 do. Jess says, I'm assuming this is a typo. Jess played lots of Wordle with students today. I hope you enjoyed it. My 14-year-olds who have fluent English love it. And and yes, Rob, fingers crossed your COVID comes back negative. It is hard to skip your favourite sports, says Jess. Yeah, and I've had to cycle twice this week already to make up for it. And the thing about cycling, the thing about hula hooping, the thing about pole dancing, the thing about running is that you can do all these things already, like on your own. But if you're into swing dancing, if you're into mambo or cha-cha-cha or these kinds of things, you need you need a partner, and that's very different. But yeah. Alex was gifted a book recently called 4,000 Weeks, which addresses the idea we'll never have enough time to do all the things we want, but once you accept that, it's easier to focus on the things that really matter. True, I mean, I would love to be a rap master one day, but I've accepted that, I'm never going to be a professional musician. I'm never going to be you know, an amazing rap artist, but I can occasionally sing songs. I can occasionally play piano or keyboard and music, and some people derive pleasure from it, which is a lovely thing. Um, yeah, I'm fairly sure that my illness is not COVID. It doesn't feel like COVID, and tests have been negative. So, in this case, negative is a good thing. And thank you very much. Um, the idea being that the average Western lifespan is approximately 4,000 weeks. Yeah, I can get that. So how many am I? So, anyway, let's not get into that. Oh, thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wordlum. Oh, Wordlum is a wordle that you can play endlessly. Oh, I completely forgot that one. But that is quite cool. You know what? Maybe let's talk about Wordles. Maybe I will try. I hope no one's tried the Octordle yet today, but maybe we'll give that a go. Octordle is probably my favourite Wordle because you get the satisfaction, you build up, and then you've got the boom, you managed to do a thing, boom, you managed to do a thing, boom, you managed to do a thing. You should try Micromuckle if you've got an Owl deck. But anyway, that is the end of the recent highlights. Let's talk about Question will be quick questions is this section. I don't have this section always. It's not an interrogation, it's just a question, be quick question. And it's going to carry on for a few minutes, not for hours or days. Question will be quick questions. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me, you have to ask me now. And while you're asking me, I'm going to talk about a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I'm going to say that a brilliant thing is being able to breathe easily through your nose. And I keep referencing Big Yellow Taxi, that song, but it's a wonderful line. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Is that not a wonderful line? Is that not so true? And sometimes having an occasional cold, in a sense, it's a brilliant thing. Because right now, obviously, the state of being in a cold isn't great. But hopefully it will pass. Hopefully in a couple of days I'll be better. And then I'll be able to appreciate. I just feel like we should have a list, a mindfulness list of, like, right now appreciating that I can move my hand. and there's absolutely no pain when I move my hand. Like I can move my thumb, and like I can. That's quite brilliant, and we don't take the time to appreciate things. So I guess what I'm really saying is the true brilliant thing is not waiting for things to be gone before you start missing them and appreciating them, but making sure you know what you got before it's gone. And like just saying, wow, I can see the screen. That's amazing. I can play board games and just look around the table. I can see my hands in front of me. And, you know, is that not amazing? Like, just the human body, and I can digest food. And pass it out on the other end. And I know that's a small thing, but I can do it myself. And these are the things that we take for granted. I mean, the digestion, mastication, vision. Can I actually smell right now? Yeah, I can just about smell. Um, Even though I am really clogged up, even though I'm quite phlegmy, just being able to hear, that's brilliant. Being able to feel touch, all the senses, being able to move my legs, that's super brilliant. Yeah, walking around and like, maybe tomorrow I'll be able to cycle. We'll see how I feel. But I think the human body, all the functions, that is a pretty gosh darn brilliant thing. Um, so yes, just says I love that song. Um, sure, we will try Octordle at the end. Um, I have a weird thing that means I enjoy having a cold, says Jess. I feel snuffly and cozy. I like seeing Oliver's daily gratitude posts. Oliver, do you mean which Oliver are you talking about? Oliver from Tabletop Game Blog? I've not seen their daily gratitude posts. And Jess says, if you're having a really great fling with someone and you know it won't last, make the most of it. Just, yeah, enjoy that moment. Seeing the early evening sun outside of the window, all of these things that won't last, memento mori. But yes, the human body. Anyway, well, we'll have to check out. Is is that on Twitter? I will have to check that out. But we've got a couple of questionably quick questions. Firstly, do I like tomatoes? Yes, I do. I do like tomatoes, but unless it's super fancy tomatoes, I wouldn't normally eat them on their own. Like if it's just basic salad tomatoes, yeah, sure, chop them up in a salad, have them with a cucumber. Where's the cucumber? I could have a cucumber on its own. Carrots, I could enjoy a carrot on its own, even if it's a very basic cucumber or a very basic carrot. Whereas a tomato, I need it to be a fancier tomato to enjoy it. Like a cherry tomato, absolutely. Baby tomato, a nice little plum tomato, one of those fancy tomatoes on the vine. Okay, I can enjoy one of them a week, but hey, I do like tomatoes. But the truth is, even though it's red, if I had to have it on its own, if it was a choice between the super basic tomato or the super basic cucumber, I would go cucumber. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I do like them, absolutely. How many hairs do I think that I have on my head? I do not know. If I had to give a number, if it was Wits and Wagers and they had the exact number, I'm going to guess that in this little bit, maybe I've got, let's say there's, I don't know, like what density is there? Like I'm thinking, okay, there, there's less than 1 millimeter between my hairs. So now I have to calculate how much space there is here. So like this feels like about 30 centimeters. I'm not sure. Is that about 30 centimeters? Um, and maybe that's about 30 centimeters. Um, it feels no, that feels a bit less. Let's say it's 30 times 20. So 30 times 20, that's 600 centimeters. So Does that mean that they're 600 millimeters squared? So about, I'm going to say 60,000. I'm going to estimate 60,000. Yeah, that's what I'm settling on. Oh, thank you, Alex. I will follow that link and see what's going on there. Oliver's latest. Oliver Keena says, "Good friends." That is. I've not seen these posts today. That is a lovely post. I'm going. Why have you not liked it, Alex? And just says, I wonder if there's a red food that Bez doesn't like. I mean, if you'd asked me whether I like crushed, like really spicy peppers, I mean, I like them only when they're mixed in with other foods, but also when they're like a certain level of spiciness, it's like, what's the point? Now it's just about pain. It's not about any interesting taste. What are you doing? This is just macho. Just says, I wonder if there's a food that Bess doesn't like. Hmm. If it's plain, if it's unseasoned, I'm not too fond of bread, to be honest, unless you do something special to it. Like, I don't see the point in bread, frankly. Like, if there's a sandwich, I'd almost always rather just have the bits in the middle. Like, the sandwich makes it easier to hold, but I'm never going to actually buy a full price. I'm rarely going to buy a full price sandwich. It just feels like I'd rather just have a salad or noodles. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of bread. I like toast, but like soft bread, nah, I'm not a fan of that. White bread, nah. Rice with nothing on it, it's like I like my food to be seasoned. I like there to be other things going on. Apparently, I have about 100,000, so I wasn't too far off with 60,000. Um, so yep. Do, 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 do. Apparently, Alex didn't like the post because they don't like good friends. They prefer morally dubious friends. Oh, I reckon Bez has about 150,000 hairs on her head, says Jess. I'm going to actually see if. Oh, and apparently you've liked it now. That's the end of the brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's the list thing? Which is brilliant. And as always, comments, ask questions, fun like follow. And yeah, now to talk about the main topic again. Taking time off. Yeah, what does it mean to take time off? I guess taking time off means, like, what's his work? Like, for most people, work is really obvious when you're working because you have someone else who tells you what you have to do. And if you have autonomy, if you have freedom, then that's not work. But today, I mean, I could be taking time off, and I guess, like, I might want to draw a wee whimsical creature in the manner of Mike Bonet from Who What Why cast. Does that mean that I'm not taking time off work? In a sense, it does. I mean, work when it's prescribed to you, when it's dictated to you, when it's very some people have jobs where it's very, very clear whether you're working, whether you're not working. And as soon as you become self-employed, it becomes a lot more ambiguous because, and I guess the notion of taking time off, for me, maybe that means prioritizing what is restful rather than what is important. Yeah, that feels like a good way to roughly define time off. Does that make, yeah, I mean, if anyone else has a better definition, then I'd love to hear it. But normally, it's up to me to decide, okay, what do I need to do? And sure, there are things that I have to do today. I had to write a to-do list for Chris to make sure that I checked the LDEC Twitter, make sure that Chris makes stuff today to keep that going, make sure that there's stuff happening there. Time off is the opposite of time on. Well, that's not exactly useful, is it? I mean, then we just have to define what time on, which is, yeah, I don't think that's even a thing. But yeah, it feels like when you're having time off, it's not right to say, I'm going to stop work, I'm going to stop being productive, I'm going to stop being active, I'm going to stop doing whatever. Like in the Elizabethan Victorian era, like, what's their name? Elizabeth Bennet or their sister, they get a cold and then they go to the house and they're not even that ill, but are just up in bed and it's like, no, you're not going back home, you're just staying here, poor person. And yeah, I think that when you're there is this sense that you owe it to yourself to not do anything. And I think, again, that's not really time off because you're obligating. And I think Alex is coming to a really interesting point, which is about requirements and obligations. You aren't required to be switched on for any purpose. But it's also important that you aren't required to be switched off, that you do what appears restful to you in that moment. I think that's the key thing. That if I want to read, I could read, but I'm not obligated to read. If I just want to watch films, I think I watched two totally different films yesterday. I watched Anger Management, which is really weird, and I finally understood where one meme that I've kept seeing with someone like, and I saw the twist coming, but it just does not make any sense. It's just really, really, really weird. The whole thing comes off as creepy for me, and yeah, it's great. Anyway, like the point is that I when I don't feel, oh, I have to be useful, I have to watch through a certain amount of whatever, or I have to read this book because if I'm watching stuff rather than reading, I'm not. Why am I engaging with it's good to have time away from something, like a separation from the screen, a separation from a creative process so you have time to wander around and recharge. But I think the key thing is that you have your freedom. If I want to, and yes, you're thinking about the short term, that you're not worrying about what will be good for you in a couple of days, or what will be good for me for this Kickstarter, or what will be good. Yeah, I should probably book accommodation for aircon, because I've got one more place to book, and I will do that today before I take the rest of the day off. But once I've done that, yes, there's lots of other things I could do. I could be promoting the forthcoming Kickstarter. I could be drawing stuff. I could be doing whatever. And maybe I will draw something if I feel the need to do it. But I think the key thing is the stepping away from your obligations, feeling like, hey, I'm just going to take time and do whatever. I think that's important because it gives you time to recharge. It gives you time to recharge your body. It gives you time to recuperate. But they say change is as good as a rest. Maybe it's true, but I don't think it is. I mean, frankly, if you've been running 6 days of the week and then your legs need a rest, I don't think it does you much good to suddenly start cycling for the seventh day. I mean, it is marginally different muscles, but it's still very similar muscles. And so I don't think that's really Yeah, I mean, none of these things can be taken literally. I think it's important to, I mean, they say that your core, your stomach, that is the bit of you that you can exercise literally every day, and it needs almost no. And maybe you still want that little sense of achievement. I mean, if you have a day and you feel, I need to do nothing, but you still want a sense of achievement. Just maybe make that sense of achievement a little bit different. And I do think that there is definitely a truth in saying, yes, I am going to do something different. It's not entirely time off from obligations. I'm never going to say, yes, here's one day where I eat literally everything I want. Because if I did eat literally everything that I wanted, it would be incredibly unhealthy and it would damage me for a long time to come. I mean, things can have long term health problems. I did have a wee bit of chocolate sauce, but it was like, that much. I had, and I guess that's it. Changing things in a mindful way, stepping away from what you normally do, relaxing that not like you obviously have to change it enough. Like if you've been running, then rather than switching to cycling, maybe you change to weightlifting for the other day. And then that is a proper good rest because at least you're resting part of yourself. And if I've been stressing about, social media, then or what doing things for the explicit purpose of enjoyment, that's a good one. Yeah. Like but again, having an achievement counts as enjoyment. Like if I draw something for Michael Bonnet, who is currently the only person who's entered my competition, which was a bit sad for me. Hopefully someone else will also enter. Then and let me actually try and um yeah, if anyone wants me to draw them as a wee whimsical creature, then please retweet my tweet here and also share a picture of yourself. And I am going to do a random draw every so often whenever I feel like it. And I might do a random draw today. And but I'll do a random draw like whenever I feel like it. So if you get in early, then you will be entered into more of the random draws and you'll be more likely to get drawn. Literally drawn, not just drawn as a raffle, but also literally drawn. But it will give me a sense of achievement. And then when I'm considering the sense of achievement, which again is part of, because when I went to therapy for depression, they talked about three things that you want in your day: enjoyment, which is things that you enjoy intrinsically, connection, and achievement. So enjoyment might be a food that tastes nice, or maybe you enjoy a walk, maybe you don't. Maybe you enjoy the wind on your face, maybe you enjoy smelling some roses, maybe you enjoy just taking a minute as you're walking along to literally smell someone's flowers. Maybe you enjoy maybe you enjoy drawing, maybe you don't. I mean, I don't know if I enjoy drawing, but I definitely feel a sense of achievement when I've done it. And then I look back and I'm like, hey, that was not too bad. I feel good about that. And then finally, the connection, whether that's connection with your students, connection with people online. I mean, part of the reason that I do this each day is for that sense of connection. And yes, um, I always enjoy chatting to you. And yeah, this frankly gives me enjoyment and connection and also a sense of achievement because it's like, yay, sure, I started 3 minutes late today, but it's a sense of achievement that I managed to do it. And yeah, but Jess says, I've achieved making my students happy today. I've connected a bit with friends and I've enjoyed teaching and Bez. That sounds lovely. And so, yeah, that's it. I don't feel like I have anything more to say about anything. Um, like I have some more things to say about other things, but nothing to say about um nothing to say about taking days off. If you have anything more to say about taking days off, then feel free. Otherwise, I am going to do a couple of very quick puzzles and we'll see how that goes on. Before we finish, let's have the question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we get on our way. My question of the day is, yeah, what do you think defines a day off? And how often do you take a day off? How often do you take a day where you do literally everything differently? Yeah, how much do you change what you're doing on a day off? Like presumably when you have a day off, there's still a lot of obligations that you have to do, like taking care of people. Presumably maybe you're still doing your activities, maybe you're still eating in a particular way. But yeah, how often how do you go about making sure that your day off is a change, making sure that it's enjoyable, and making sure that it refreshes you and recuperates you, if you know what I mean. That's, yeah. Oh, Alex says, you've done well, Bez. Take the rest of the day off. Thank you. Um, so let's have, and if anyone wants, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. Anything you want to share, I promise that I care. Anything you have to do, anything you want to do. I want to do this Nerdle thing. I started doing a couple of them and then I realized that I ran out of time, so I had to do the stream. But this is where I am so far. I'm going to do a couple of puzzles. I'm going to do that, then Octordle, and then I'm going to finish the stream. I will book a I am going to book a thing, a room or aircon for one more person because Daksha, talking to them, they are super enthusiastic. I think it will be great to have them there, and I think it's worth my cost to subsidize their accommodation and everything. And yes, there's going to be, I want to say, 4 of us. So myself, Jason, Josie, and Daksha will be the full-time people, and then Tom Cauldron will be there for a couple of hours, and Ian might be helping me. I am going to be at Aircon running in a Bond, as it's called, which I'm super excited. The first time it's ever been played in real life. So it's very much inspired. Like half the people will be playing something almost identical to In a Bind. And I think we're going to have up to maybe 5 contortionists. 5 seems like a good number. Everyone else, I'll take some actual fake money, paper money maybe from Empire Express, and then you'll be paying shares and you'll be buying stuff, and then yeah, I'll need people to kind of work, yeah, to help govern it, to help do all the stock transactions and people buying shares into different contortionists. But I'm super excited about that. Bones says a perfect day off is taking a hike in the woods with friends. That sounds lovely. And you already wrote that, okay? Hey, Alex, don't give me the answer. Mafsel. It's not 8 letter words, it's 8 things at a time. I wanted to solve that myself. Okay, let's do the Wordle, and I'm going to try and ignore what's been written, but So we've got a lot of information. We know it's 9 something minus 4 something equals 5 something. So there's, and the only other letter numbers that we use are the 2 and repeats of the other things. So it could be, what things come up with 2? 95 minus 99 minus 94 equals 95, 45. Oh, maybe if it's, no, 5. Huh. Yeah, I'm struggling. 5. There's not 2 difference between any of these numbers. Surely there needs to be 2 difference, or 2. Yeah, there needs to be 2 less, because if it's all about the units, and then the units are, it's only 2, 4, 5, and 9. And oh, it might be 40. Yeah, it's 4 and 2. It's got to be 94. Yeah, 94 minus 42 equals 52. That's what Alex wrote, right? Yep. Well done for. Yep. Alex, you got there before me. Congratulations. So now let's do a quick bit of octordal. So in octordal, and what you're doing is, actually, rather than a daily octordal, let me do a free octordal, so I'm not doing any spoilers for anyone. So I always like to start with Alien and then Roust, and then see how I get on. But the thing about octordal is you get 13 guesses, but with your 13 guesses, you need to guess 8 things. So you've basically got 5 guesses to throw away, and it is a real challenge. So I need at least, I'm thinking maybe 4 guesses, and then after my first 4 guesses, I'm going to need to get a word every single turn. Alex got there before me as the perennial cry of the puzzler, says Rob. Okay, so let's start with, I mean, maybe I don't want to start with Alien and Roust. Maybe I want to start off with fewer vowels. If I'm going to use at least 3 of them, then maybe I'm thinking that maybe child is actually a really good one, because, yeah, I'm going with child, and I just want to get a big coverage. So, quota, no, quota. Yeah, quota would actually be quite a nice thing. Let's go with that. And then ERS, we want an ERS and a, oh, bears, no. Is buyers a word? Buyers. No, it's not. Yes. Boom. That feels like a good start to the thing. And we've still got a few letters. So now, looking at them and seeing if they're, oh, we've got a lot going on here. And now we see 8 different things, because remember, we're doing 8 at once. And the Q is in at least one of the words. So this one we've got 4 of them. This one we've got 3. This one we've got 4. And this one here we've got 5. Utra, lutra, trolla, tool, toler, ultra. Could it be ultra? What do you think? Should I guess ultra? Is that a reasonable guess? That is definitely a possibility. It doesn't give me any more information for any of the other words. But cough? Cough for which one? Let me try ultra. Boom! I did ultra! Hooray! Now cough for why is it not scroll? There we go. Cough. For here, you're thinking COUGH. It could indeed be cough. That's a good guess. And it would give me information for the O here. That would be nice. And let's go with Alex's suggestion. Cough. Yes, cough. And it gives me information here. So this is coder or cower. No, it can't be coder because we've already got the D. So Cooper is a word, right? Cooper, yep. So it could be Cooper, it could be cower, and it could be coner. Is that a word? No, that's not a word. Comer. Yep. Or cover. Oh, there's a lot of possibilities there. I'm going to leave that because, I don't want to try something and then just waste a guess. Here, BRIO. There's not. I generally. Okay, this one has. And this one has a Q, but somewhere in the. Oh, and this one, orf. Worth. Fourth. This could be a W or an F. Or indeed an N. So I almost feel like I've got to take another guess to try and get rid of W, F, N, V, and P if I can. This is definitely tricky. Robin for which one? Robin for this one. Robin. Oh, it could definitely be Robin. It could also be oh, that's a good guess. I like that. Let's try it. Oh my gosh, it is Robin. Nice work. Nice work. And that gives us information that here the R is either the second or the final letter. So let's see. Yeah, do I need to differentiate between the V, F, P, and M? Oh, so I've already got the N. So where was the one that was possibly north? So this is definitely not north. So it's either fourth or worth. So if I go FWMV, is there a word with FWMV to narrow things down? That's what I'm wondering. Wamv, wam, movie, vomwa, vomwa. And what's going on here with this? So yeah, so here this definitely seems like north or worth. No, worth or forth. Going forth or going north. There is no way to be sure. Oh no, it's not north or worth. Yeah, it could be forth or worth. So if I were to be able to distinguish between those two and having a V in there, wife, equip. Oh, it could definitely be equip. Oh, there is a P in there, but where's the... So this is not Cooper. This is either cover or comer. And cover, comer, cower. I need a V and a W, and then I'd be able to work it out, I think. So woven peak. Let's just try it. Very nice, Alex. Very nice. Okay, so we're still 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still on track to get it before the end. So I'm thinking woven, or is I ideally want the W, the V, and the M, or the W, the V, and the F. Favo, waffle. I'll go with woven. I can't think of a better thing. Actually, weave might be marginally more useful, because that's at least putting letters where they weren't before. Whoa! So that means that this one's definitely cower. That's good information. And we've only got 3 more guesses. So this one is still only got 1, 2, 3 letters from there. That's not great. We've got the cower, this one, AG and an N. Anga, banga, could be anything. This is port, north. This is definitely fourth, I think. Fourth, going fourth. And then, wow. The only thing on this word is it ends in GA, there's an N. Manga? Could it be manga? Should I try manga? Manga? What do you think? Because if I still want to get it, we have to get these right both times. Don't know what's going on there, and I don't know what's going on here. RIA, but it starts with F. Should I go manga? Yes! Manga, boom! I managed to work it out. And now Friar. Friar, FRIAR, that could be possible. Boom! Congratulations. And that is octordal. So if you want to try doing that yourself, then octordal.com. It is a really nice little puzzle where you basically get 5 guesses, and I think that 5 is enough that you're probably going to, with a good bit of thought, manage to do it each day. But yeah, it's always really, really close. And that is the end of that octordal. So let's recap and wrap up before we finish up. So to recap and wrap up, a day off, what does that even mean? We've agreed that the 4-day week mainly applies to when you're working 9 to 5, and if you're working freelance, do whatever you want, do whatever makes sense for you. If you've got something that if you do it today versus tomorrow, it makes a big difference, then do it today. Like, think about your own sense of achievements. Like, it's sunny right now, so I'm not going to go dancing tonight, but I might, venture outside, go to the shops, see how I feel. Probably not going to cycle to the big shop, but yeah, I'll go grab some orange juice from the close by shop. I might, draw a little thing of Mike Bonet. Again, I know the effort is going to be low, the feeling of achievements is going to be high. I will book a room because efforts is going to be relatively low, and the priority is super high, so I'm going to do that before I take the rest of the day off. Um, Thank you, Jess. That is a lovely thing. Hello, Xate. It is lovely to see you just as we're finishing wrapping up. But yes, lots of love to you as always. And yes, we decided that yeah, it's about taking a break. It's about deciding um what would be relaxing to you. It's about working out what would be good for you, making sure you do have that enjoyment and achievement, but not saying, hey, you're not allowed to do anything. It's about, hey, you can go outside, but only if you want to. Sate says, I am currently planning a trip to the UK. Anyone want to rent a Sate for a few days? Have me over for games and food? Pick me, pick me. That's both me reading out Alex's comment and also echoing the sentiment. It'll be lovely to have you. I actually realised that I will have to say that I do live on a up. I think I counted the stairs the other day. I think there were 7 times 6. So there's about 50 steps that you need to go up, which on a bad day for you might be problematic. Just to warn you, I do live pretty high up, but yes, it's lovely to looking forward to seeing you. And all the people rushing to things. My work booked my flights to the UK today. Amazing! I hope that you have a lovely thing and let me know when you're around. And yes, it will be lovely to see you as well. Whether it's around Aircon or UK Games Expo or somewhere in between or whatever, let me know the dates and we can chat. And what else do I need to recap and wrap up? Yeah, some people are looking forward to going to Bastion. Some people have been cycling loads. Some people have just been having nice little baked potatoes. And myself, did a couple of puzzles, mainly with the help of Alex. And that's yeah, I'm going to do an hour or so of vaguely productive stuff and take much of the day off. For now, all I'm going to say is to remind you that I am Stuff by Bez, stuffbybez.com. Please check out my Kickstarter if you're not already following. It does make a big difference because emotionally, to see that number go up. And hello, Yoda, it is lovely to see you as well. And indeed, everyone is coming to the UK. From our company retreat, I'm just not flying home. And just says, coming 3rd April to 11th May to see Alex. Well, not sure how much truth there is in that. If you want to find out my future streams, check out stuffbybez.com/streams. There's nothing super special planned until next Wednesday when I've got Jess Mederingham on. And let me actually delete 559. Tomorrow, if I manage to make it to playtest, if I'm feeling good enough, it will just be a quick 5-minute thing. And in a couple of weeks, I will hopefully be at Aircon and I'll be doing a quick bunch of streams from there. So you'll get to see a little bit of the inside of the Wi-Fi. Share, spread the word. Thank you, everyone, for chatting along, for being lovely friends, for all those things. And yeah, lovely to see you, Jess, Alex, Rob, Xate, Yoda. Oh, and there's a YouTube commenter just blocking them. And there was an actual YouTube commenter, Bones. It was lovely to have you, rather than just random robots. So for now, I guess share, spread the word if you want. Thank you, everyone. Lots of love to all. And the only thing left to say is bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song to do. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. Now it's time to go. Bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, Xate. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye bye, Jess. Looking forward to seeing you as well. Bye bye, Rob. Hopefully see you in the not too distant future, maybe at Aircon. Bye bye, Alex. See you in the not too distant future as well, I guess. And lots of love to you all. And for now, bye bye.